Hey there, cats and kitties. I'm the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, we'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 4 of the anime series, Aria the Scarlet AA. And this was actually a pretty enjoyable episode, even though it's mostly just sort of setting up what's to come in the next with the quartet battle. This particular challenge sounding very interesting, of course, as the title suggests. It's pitting 4 on 4, and you're going to have primarily the groups of Akari, Raika, Shino, and Kirin, respectively, are sort of main characters going up against, pardon my French, but just this rich bitch in Takachio. And she's got these two underlings that are twin sisters, Yu and Yaya. And then I was actually really shocked that Fuma, of all people, Kinji's Amika, is going to be part of this. The ninja chick who I was basically equating with being, at least for me, this sort of season's Reki. Reki being my favorite character from the first season, the first proper season, if you will, whereas this is much the spin-off. And it's interesting how this is all going about with the training and everything. I think they go to like Shino's mansion or whatever it is, and they're going to be staying the night, and you have Akari's younger sister, who actually kind of looks older and acts more mature than her, coming over as well, and just thanking all of the friends for, treating her sister well and all this stuff. But you actually have Riko coming in. People know her role if you've seen season 1. She's somewhat a malevolent character, but she's actually, because this is coinciding with the time frame of season 1, this is still in the early going, so she's actually taken under her wing Akari and all these other girls and training them, trying to help them get prepared for this oncoming quartet challenge, which is, we're told in this episode, going to involve poison. I guess they don't necessarily mean literal poison. They're going to be able to do whatever they can, use whatever sort of implements and gadgets and weapons and whatever like that. Rubber bullets, though, for their guns that they have on hand, basically in the sort of arena this is going to be taking place in. And the poison thing is more an aesthetic to do with, like, flags. It's basically a one-upsmanship game where they're going to have a group representation of, like, bees for sort of the main girls, and then it's a spider for the adversaries, and whoever crosses paths with the winning flag first, on the opposing team, they are indeed the winner. And of course, Akari really wants to be able to raise her levels. She's told she can basically do that if they succeed and stuff like that, because she's very much wanting to impress Aria, her own sort of, tutor and everything like that, to whom she is an Amika. And it was somewhat comical, getting a little more in depth with the characters. There were a couple of really great moments toward the end of the episode. You had between like Raika and Kirin, respectively, as well as Aria, who just sort of was out of the episode almost entirely till the end, which is normally the case because she's off on the first season adventures and such. But between her and Akari as well, and sort of in precursor to that, I thought it was hilariously convenient and coincidental that of all people, Shino, who was in episode 2 just the over-the-top yandere over Akari, murderously so, very sort of bloodthirsty and everything like that. She was practically going to kill this girl. No one else can have you because you're mine kind of scenario. And it turns out she becomes the Amika of Shirayuki from season 1, who is very much that way toward Kinji. They both have this mutual hate for Aria now, because Aria's, she's training as her Amika, Akari on one side. She's working in tandem in the partnership from season 1 with Kinji, which is unfolding currently and everything. So now you have these two somewhat psychotic ladies. One is tutoring, one is the underling Amika and everything, and just I thought that was absolutely hilarious, frankly. But I mean, as they're training, basically you see that actually, conveniently or maybe inconveniently for the main characters, Takachio actually has, like, her spies at work. She's got her spy network between Fuma and these two twins, keeping an eye on all the training that Akari and her crew are doing, including getting sort of a laugh out loud moment of the fact that she's riding around on this, like, horse thing. Yeah, I don't know what purpose that's going to actually serve in the long run with this particular battle. But each of them, they're trying to get each of these girls into the position that is most befitting of what their talents are. You know, in the case of Raika, she is the bigger, she's the stronger, so she's going to be the one who's supposed to be holding, you know, people off, attacking Akari. I guess Akari's going to be like the one running for the flag. And then, of course, you have, I think it's like Shino training to take on the twins, and we're not sure what Kirin's up to exactly, but there's some heated dialogue between Takachiho and the girls when she realizes, oh, well, the only reason Kirin's part of this group is because how cute Raika finds her, and we find out there's this whole thing called CVR, Civetta, like research or something like that, where they're training honey traps. I thought this was an interesting term. Basically, you know, succinctly put, it's just women using their sexuality against whatever potential foes they have, you know, bond ladies and whatever. And I just thought it was hilarious that, you know, you basically have the very young seeming Kirin who was once, you know, Oriko's Amika, although she puts it the other way around in the dialogue for some reason in the diner, when they're actually talking about training and what they're going to do. But, like, with how young she is, and of course Raika is attracted to her and all that kind of stuff, and the fact also we have this sort of debuting realization that the reason Takachiho is so against Akari, this chick can't win. She can't win worth a damn. She's got basically Shino going all yandere on her. She's got Aria, who's putting her to the test and trying to, you know, get her to live up to her potential while also distrusting her from afar. You know, she's got Fuma getting information on her. Now Fuma's working with Takachiho. What's really uber convenient, again, maybe inconvenient, is the fact that Takachiho, she apparently is yandere for Aria. She's the only one pro-Aria so far, other than, you know, Akari herself. And she's jealous. The whole reason she hates Akari is because she feels Akari stole Aria away from her. Okay, so it's like, this is just getting more and more complex in the craziness and the wackiness, and I just am left by the end of this episode. I can't wait to see this actual battle unfold. You know, we opened the episode with this sort of strange dream sequence of Akari's where she was very fearful of, like, you know, somebody taking Aria away from her, or Aria calling it quits on her, and all of her friends leaving her behind and everything. And in this sequence you actually see Kinji and Drag. I'm sure people who are Kinji fans loved the hell out of that. But yeah, I can't wait to see how this is all going to unfold, because of course Akari has just so much love and admiration for Aria. I mean, as we saw, once again, calling back to the episode 1 sort of, you know, flash forward to the, what I presume to be the final episode of the series, or final episodes, we're going to be seeing effectively Akari going up against Aria, unless there's some, you know, more information about what's going on in those sequences. And we had a little bit of dialogue toward the end of this episode I found highly intriguing along those lines. Aria was acknowledging the fact in testing, you know, Akari once again to try to get the gun back and everything toward the end of the episode. She's saying your moves are becoming very similar to mine. You're really growing and you're adapting my way of doing things. And that's the one thing that stuck out to me in the OP as well. If you watch the OP, they kind of cross-fade both Aria and Akari back and forth as if they're, you know, of the same mind. They're becoming the same person in a sense. And in that flash forward in episode 1, did we see them very well matched? So it's going to be that downward spiral, arguably, or that evolution of Akari's character to see what exactly it is that makes her get to be on par, on level footing with Aria, who is, in this spin-off series, much more of a badass than we got, in my humble opinion, than in, you know, the season 1 proper. And what exactly, it seems like there's going to be a rift or a divide between them. Is it just down to this challenge? Are they going to leave sort of amicably by the end, or are they going to become adversaries? All this kind of stuff is very intriguing because, of course, once again, too, we didn't have any flashbacks in this episode, but we have had flashbacks to Akari's past, and it's been very much intriguing to want to learn what that's all about. You know, it seems like there were some horrors in the past of she and her sister. Maybe they lost their parents, whatever it is. I'm not entirely sure, but, you know, Aria herself feels like there's something up with Akari, and she doesn't trust her, and it's because of whatever is hold over from this past. So I can't wait to find out. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. If you've enjoyed episode 4 of Aria the Scarlet AA, if you've seen it. If not, why not? Let me know in the comments below. Love having a conversation, even if we, agree to disagree on our particular POVs. And so, yeah, otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.